What's up, guys? Real quick, I've been telling you about the CBDCs, and I know you guys know in this community for sure. But we've been talking about or having a little debate, like how do we fight against them and stuff. And I've been telling you, I think the only way to do that is through Bitcoin. As much as I love silver and gold and platinum, precious metals, and things like that, I think we're going to be transacting in a digital world today. Here in front of you, especially from my Bitcoiners, these are Morgan silver dollars. And I've been going through these basically, because I guess I'm a dealer now. Who knows? These are the prime example, in my opinion, of today's inflation. These are worth depends on where you sell them at, 25 to 35, sometimes $40 for one US dollar. It's crazy. So in this video, this is Trader University. He's going to talk about the CBDCs and how we can fight against them. And this is a channel that I highly recommend. I've done a few of his videos before, and I'm going to keep doing them because he's the most pragmatic guy on YouTube, in my opinion, about Bitcoin. He's very, very centered about it. He's not biased. He got into it in 2019. He's in the finance industry like me, real estate, stocks, and all that other stuff. And he heard about Bitcoin in 2011, didn't buy it then, and then he bought it in 2019. So let's see what he has to say about what's going on with the CBDCs.
This is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today I want to talk a little bit more about central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, in particular, how they are coming to the UK. And for those of you, there's still a few of you who think this is a conspiracy theory. I think you're going to be quite surprised by what you see in this video, so be sure to watch it all the way to the end. And I'm calling this the CBDC dragon descending on the UK. This is something we've been talking about for a few months. Here's a video from back in October of 2022 when I talk about the new UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's banking background, his ties to Infosys, and his support for CBDCs. There's actually a video I linked to there. I believe that video has been taken down where he talks about how CBDC he is. Well, this is really beginning to come to a head in the UK. As we said, CBDCs, central bank digital currency. It's a currency that's issued and controlled by the central bank, and it's usually going to be in blockchain form. It's going to be much easier to monitor than just the digital dollar or the digital pound. And so it would be issued by whatever country's central bank, whether it's the Fed or the ECB, People's Bank of China in China, Bank of Japan in Japan, and of course the Bank of England in the UK. Now, CBDCs make it very easy for a government or a central bank to track your income, your spending patterns, exactly what you buy with every penny or every pound, and to exert their control through targeted stimulus. So, for example, they could send stimmy checks just to people who have a certain income or live in a certain zip code or a certain area, as well as having targeted penalties, financial penalties, and it's a very easy way to deplatform any enemies of the state. So this is the kind of tool that authoritarians have been drooling over for many centuries, and it's really finally here, and I want to draw attention to it and make people realize how toxic, how dangerous these things are. CBDCs are a central pillar of the coming digital prison, which is going to happen if we don't fight it really strongly. This includes control of the money, as well as biometric tracking, as we're already seeing in China, social credit scores, and movement controls as well.
Again, guys, if you're familiar with this channel, you already know I refuse to participate. I really do. These are 1921s. I keep all those together. Those are the common date ones. For those of you that don't know, these right here are cold storages. These are two different companies. This is the Ledger Nano X, and this is the Trezor Model T. And it's not a Tesla. This is how I keep my Bitcoin in a cold storage. I don't keep it on an exchange. I don't buy any other cryptocurrencies. I buy nothing but Bitcoin because I feel like that's the only way we can fight against these CBDCs. I'm an avid silver stacker, and I like platinum because I feel like you need them both. You need digital and you need the physical. You really do. And the Constitution matters, ladies and gentlemen, and we need our freedom. And I truly believe Bitcoin is freedom money. And it's digital, and we can move it around and do what we got to do without the you-know-who's all up our butts. So, again, we gotta fight this storm. We know what's coming, but we got to get ready and not, get prepared the day of or, right before this storm hits us and, put the stuff on our windows and get the food and stuff. It's going to be too late then. We need to do it right now, guys.
Now, the real difficult thing for citizens and residents here is going to be there's going to be no more cash, no more bank accounts, no more credit cards. Everything will be done through your central bank crypto wallet. And unless you have Bitcoin, the only money that you're going to have is going to be stored inside of this crypto wallet that's owned and controlled by your local central bank. So if you didn't do a certain medical procedure, your CBDC savings account could immediately get dinged 5%. And again, it's not really an account. It's going to be more of an address in your wallet, in your CBDC wallet. Did your great-great-great-great-grandfather own slaves? In that case, your CBDC savings account might get dinged, for example, 10% for reparations. Did you vote for the wrong political candidate in 2016? In that case, 10, 20 years from 2016, this may become a very politically toxic thing to have done, and your CBDC savings account will get dinged 5%.
The 2016 election. Who was in that election? Who won that election? Voting wrong. I wonder what he means by that.
Have you hit your monthly meat allowance? In that case, the grocery store will not accept your CBDC to buy meat. You're not going to have a credit card. There's not going to be physical cash. And so this could become a very bad situation. It could give authoritarians and the quote-unquote so-called elites much more power than they should ever have. At this point in time, at that point in history, it's going to be a good idea to be friends with a farmer or rancher and have some Bitcoin on hand as well.
Either that or start your own farm. And that's what I'm doing. I'm looking into buying a homestead. That's one of my main goals here. I'm going to use this silver to purchase some things. I believe in having your own economic, decentralized, system. You know what I mean? I believe in growing your own food and not depending on, people that don't care about you. I really do.
This is the big problem with CBDCs. They allow micro control of you by your government. And I would say that some countries are more at risk than others, as we're going to see. So as I said, some countries are more at risk than others. Countries where you're not allowed to even defend yourself. Not only is there very strict gun control in the UK, but it's reached a point where you can't even use kitchen knives or carry them around. If you're found carrying a knife in public, a court's going to decide whether you had a good reason to carry it or not. And this is not just if you use it to impose violence on someone, just carrying it around. So this is the kind of country that I think is much more susceptible to CBDCs and to government control, because there's really no physical way for people to defend themselves and at least fight the war on that front.
Yes, I can attest firsthand. My wife's is from there. She's from London. She moved over here when she was 11 years old. Her dad lives there now, and they don't allow weapons. You know what I mean? They don't want you to arm yourself. Do you know another country that's trying to disarm their citizens? I don't know. Is there another country doing that? Let me think.
I think this is a very nice meme that shows one way that CBDCs are going to come into the system. They're going to be obviously very convenient. You can have everything on your phone. There's going to be a U.S. government or a Federal Reserve app on your iPhone or other smartphone, and it's going to provide convenience. Of course, the problem is there's going to be zero privacy, social credit scores. Every transaction is documented. Access to your money can be turned off at any moment. Centralization, etc. So this is, I think, a pretty good meme to maybe share with normie friends who don't understand how bad this could get.
I want you to pay close attention to that meme and look at it, right? Because that's how people are. They zero in and they hone in on the things that they want, and it's honed in on the convenience. Everything else outside of that, social credit scores, every transaction is documented. All your movements and actions are traceable. Cipher security attacks, zero privacy, all that freedom that they're giving up for security. All they see is the convenience. And again, it'll be put on an app on your phone to be so easy, because that's what they're doing now. PayPal, Cash App, all this other stuff. You just put your phone up and dink it and you're good. They're giving up their freedoms. Again, security versus freedom. What do you want more? And how they're going to roll it out, what are they going to do? Everybody's going to be in a messed up situation financially. And what are they going to do? A stimulus check. And when people get free money, it's hard for them to turn that down.
Now I want to share with you the really crazy thing that someone sent me and that prompted me to make this video. There's an actual job opening at the Treasury in the UK, and the position is head of central bank digital currency, head of CBDC. It's still not too late to apply. You can apply before the 7th of February of this year. It's going to be based probably in London. And you can scroll down here and see what the job description is and what they're going to be working on. If we scroll down here, we can see that the successful candidate will be responsible for leadership of His Majesty's Treasury's work on a potential digital pound, a UK central bank digital currency. And we can see here as well that the salary they're offering is somewhere between 61,000 and 67,000 pounds. This made me a little surprised. I didn't realize that selling your soul to the devil really doesn't pay as well as it used to. We know that Faust got 24 years of pleasure in exchange for selling his soul to Mephistopheles. I think perhaps I'm missing the fact as well that if you get this job, you can just print yourself some extra CBDC pounds to supplement your salary, because I think working on CBDCs is going to be probably about as close to the money printer as you can get in a job.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, think about that. I don't care what that job was paying. I would never do that job. But people oh my gosh, man. What in the world where are we going with this world, man?
If you're in the UK, if you qualify, I would say consider applying, because I think it'd be pretty funny if a Bitcoiner or a secret Bitcoiner got this job. But the CBDCs are definitely coming. It's just a question of time. It's probably not going to be in the next year or two, but certainly by the end of this decade, I would expect to see CBDCs in the UK, and it's going to be a real struggle not to have them in the US as well.
Now, I will say this. In the United States of America, we will be the last, I believe, out of the 180 currencies in the 200-something countries, whatever it is. My prediction is we'll be last to get the CBDCs. I will say that, and I'll be forthright about that. And the reason being is we're the strongest currency and we're the world reserve currency. And also right now, as I know, we do have the most freedom in the world. Maybe not as much as Dubai and a few other countries and stuff like that, but there are a lot of Americans here that still are fighting for their freedoms. We still got some great politicians there. The America First politicians like Lauren Boebert, who we got, Chip Roy, those people like those Marjorie Taylor Greene and stuff like that they're gonna not want to do this. But unfortunately, it's coming. I do think that we're going to be the last ones to get cooked. When I say cooked, they're cooking us slow in a frog, like frogs in a pot. You know what I mean? With all this stuff going on, I mean, they just slowly introduce things. Like 10 years ago, if you'd have looked at the way the world is now, you'd think it's crazy. But because they cook us slow, it happens that way. But yeah, I think the U.S. would be the last ones to to adopt the CBDCs, which is good. That means that we know the storm is coming. And if somebody else in another country only knows it 2 days from the storm coming, but we know it a year from coming, guess what that means? We have time to get some more of this.
Now, the only alternative to CBDCs is Bitcoin. It's not a state-captured coin like Ethereum, where in the last 30 days, 67% have enforced U.S. Treasury OFAC compliance by omitting transactions that would violate OFAC. So this is a completely captured cryptocurrency. The only alternative to CBDCs is going to be Bitcoin. It's not going to be physical cash, and it's not going to be silver coins or gold coins. Those could work on a very local level, but they'd be very difficult to move over great distances or to put in your pocket if you need to flee the country and move to a friendlier jurisdiction that does not have CBDCs.
All right, there it is. Let's stop it right there. As much as I love silver, guys, again, in a digital world where all these young kids and playing video games and part of the metaverse and all the computer stuff and all the social medias and people using their phones to pay for stuff, guys, people are not accepting silver and gold coins for the most part around the world. And it's going to be very difficult if we have to move around and stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you a story, and I promised one of my viewers this, and I've been waiting on this. When I had to move a few hundred ounces of silver through the airport, oh my God. And it wasn't a lot. I mean, it's a lot, not compared to us, because they gave me I mean, so much trouble. I had to fill out all these paperwork. They were asking me where it's from, what it's doing. I told them I'm a dealer. Where's your license? And this, that, and the third. And I get it, man. I get it. They don't want people money laundering and this, that, and the third. But I'm an American citizen. I'm a veteran of the United States of America. You know what I mean? And this is my money. This money is in the Constitution. This was all silver, no gold. It was all silver. Why are you giving me a hard time about my money? Because they don't want this. Even if it was a bunch of cash, over $10,000, they would have did that. Now, it wasn't $10,000 worth of metals. It was about seven something grand of metals. They didn't know what it was. It was one lady that I was in an airport for a while, and I came early because I knew it was going to be a problem. She was like, "Where did you get all this stuff from?" And I started piquing her interest about silver and Bitcoin, and we got to talking and got her information. I gave her my channel. If you're watching, how you doing, ma'am? Out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, excuse me, Raleigh. She's in Raleigh. But yeah, it's crazy, man. How much difficult they give you. So again, it's a digital world we're living in. Again, I love physical silver, as you can see. I have it right in front of me. I got a lot, and these are just Morgans I have here. I got peace dollars. I got a bunch of 50-cent pieces of each kind. Franklin's, walking, all of them. I got them all. But again, I can't live in a world that I want to live in. I got to live in a real world. And again, the only thing that's going to stop and prevent us from getting into CBDCs, which I refuse to participate, is Bitcoin. It just says we're living in a digital world and it's freedom money.
The only alternative to CBDCs is Bitcoin, not a centralized black box like Tether, USDT, not shiny yellow rocks that are very difficult to flee a country with. And this is something I've pointed out before, but I always want to point it out. Eventually, Bitcoin will be priced as a necessity, not a luxury. And you can think about this. What is the proper price for one Bitcoin in a country that has been locked down by CBDCs, where there's no more cash or bank accounts or credit cards? And I would say the equivalent, as I've said many times on this channel, it's the equivalent price as a glass of water in the desert. It's not a question of price, it's just a question of whether you're even going to be able to get any before it's too late and you die of physical thirst or you die of financial thirst.
Now that's very interesting. I mean, you think about that. Being locked down in a country where there's no physical bank accounts, there's no cash, and there's no currency on the bank accounts. It's nothing but CBDCs. People are going to be wishing they had Bitcoin. Again, it's just like water in the desert. You know what I mean? Look what happened to that country that was above America when they did the stuff with the truckers and stuff, and then they tried to, stop people's bank accounts. And look what happened they did in that other country a few years ago. I don't want to mention. I mean, this stuff is happening, guys. And again, this is permissionless money. Okay? All this stuff is decentralized and permissionless, and it moves at the speed of light. You know what I mean? You can send it for pennies on the dollar. When I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, my daughter, she has a ledger and she has some Bitcoin. What I did was I sent her some of mine and it got there like that. You know what I mean? Just like that. It got over there. She's like, "Wow, Daddy." And we measure things in Satoshis, measure things in Satoshis. And again, it takes 100 million Satoshis for every one Bitcoin. You don't need a full Bitcoin. If Bitcoin says it's 22 or 23,000, you can buy $2, $5, $1, $3. But again, when you buy it, make sure you take it off the exchange and put it on the cold storage. Just like when you have your silver. When you have your silver, keep it in your own possession. Don't put it on on an SLV or give it to someone else. Hold your own stuff. Again, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Not your keys, not your coin.
CBDCs are already being rolled out across the globe, in particular China, which really loves this sort of totalitarian control. Even the US has plans for one. You can watch this video that talks about a pilot CBDC project that was done at the Boston Fed in partnership with MIT in August of 2020. I think it's going to be a little more difficult to roll these out in the US, but they're definitely something we're going to need to fight for. We can already see late last year in 2022, we saw that Nigeria was trying to accelerate this transition to a CBDC by limiting the amount of cash that you could pull out of an ATM or bank and trying to onboard everyone onto the CBDC. This is ultimately how this is going to play out. You're going to be, your access to other forms of payment are going to be restricted, and it's quite likely this will be paired with some sort of stimmy checks or stimulus checks in order to get people to use their new digital wallets from the Fed. So this is something we have to keep our eye on. I think here's another good meme that you can share with people who want a very simple version of this. CBDCs give more power to the state and less power to you. Bitcoin gives more power to you and less power to the state. And CBDCs really are a walking advertisement or advertisement for Bitcoin. Only Bitcoin can slay the CBDC dragon, whether it's the UK or whether it's elsewhere. And I keep resorting to these mythological references like St. George and the Dragon and King Arthur and Mordred, but I do think this is the modern battle that we're fighting. And if we think of it in these terms, it can be a little bit more fun. But the real questions can be by the end of this decade, not what the price of Bitcoin is, but do you have any Bitcoin? Because you're going to need it to transact unless you want to be completely controlled by your state or your central bank.
Very well said. And we are in a battle, ladies and gentlemen. Every single day is a day. If you don't buy Bitcoin, a day goes by that you're wasting it. I truly believe that. Again, I buy 100,000 Satoshis every single day. Right now, I'm getting it on sale. It's cost me $22 and some change. The price, again, is 100 million Satoshis to every Bitcoin. It's basically the price of an ounce of silver. This is an interesting time we're living in. I believe Bitcoin is going to be the money of the future. It's just like when electricity came out, or, I remember I used an analogy. I was talking to somebody, and I actually got this from Matthew Crater. He was saying that, gold is this and gold is that, and it's been used for 5,000 years. And I understand that. I get that. But horses have been used for 10,000 years, and now we use cars. And we didn't have televisions for a long time, and now we have televisions. We didn't have computers for thousands of years, and now we do. We are in a technological world today, and it's going that way. And these kids nowadays are not thinking about silver and gold. They're thinking about just pressing a button and getting their stuff, and their money's going like that. And either they're going to use CBDCs, and you're going to use CBDCs, or we're going to use this. I truly believe everybody and everything will be using Bitcoin and will be priced in Bitcoin. And that's why I buy it today. I'm not telling you how much to buy. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just trying to inform you on what's going on. Doesn't make me no difference whatsoever. I don't have any links. I don't make any money off this. I'm not a Bitcoin seller. Doesn't make me any difference. The reason I'm doing this is because I believe freedom matters. The Constitution matters, and our sovereignty matters. And I believe in having freedom through a lot of different things, but one big one is decentralized assets. And we are in a battle right now. He was right. I love those analogies. Absolutely love it. And I'll fight to my dying breath for my freedom and my constituents' freedom. I really will. And I hope you guys really look into Bitcoin. And I'm not talking about any other cryptocurrencies. I don't mess with them at all. If you do, just use them as little plays here and there. But Bitcoin is the way, guys. It really is. And I believe this. You can get mad at me for saying this, but you're either going to be in one or two camps when it comes to this channel, learning from Bitcoin learning about Bitcoin from me. Either you're going to be a guy that unsubscribes and says, I'm getting tired of watching him. I want to go back to watching the other Silver's channels and just be in an echo chamber and listen to Silver, and that's it. Or you're going to get on board and buy a little bit of Bitcoin. If you choose to do the first one, I believe you're gonna you're gonna feel sorry for it. I believe you're still gonna buy Bitcoin. You're gonna have to, because I know you guys are freedom fighters like me. You're not gonna go with the CBDC. So if you do that, you're gonna be paying a lot more for Bitcoin than what you're paying right now. I guarantee that. And you're gonna say, man, that crazy guy Jerry, he told me about this in 2022. In 2021, he started talking about it. And I unsubscribed from him in 2023, and now in 2029, I'm buying it and I'm paying whatever for it, right? Or you can be the person that said, man, I'm glad I listened to Jerry. I'm glad I got a little bit, and then I started moving it around and got my own cold storage, and then I went ahead and learned more about it and said, wow, this is the money of the future, and I'm glad I secured me and my family's future. I really believe that. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? What do you guys think? Give me an argument. If you guys don't like Bitcoin, tell me why, and tell me what you're going to do to fight the CBDCs. Do you believe the CBDCs are coming? Do you not believe it? Let me know. Please, guys, in the comment section below. Do me a favor, guys. If you like this video, hit the like button. Only if you like. If you guys like my channel and my videos, go ahead and share it. Guys, am I sharing stuff with you? I think so. Got a lot of stuff here, man. Got Morgan silver dollars. The Constitution matters. We got the decentralized assets here. And trying to give you some knowledge that I didn't know about when I first got into silver stacking. And I hope you guys heed to this. And I'm gonna keep making these videos until I get kicked off. Because I believe we need our freedoms back. And I believe what these men fought for. And in another video he made, he talks about the Constitution and Bitcoin. I may do that within the next couple of days, but stay tuned. And again, I love each and every one of you, and I'll fight for each and every one of you. I really mean that. And I really appreciate you guys watching. Keep your head on the swivel. God bless you and yours. I'm praying for this country, man, and I hope you guys are too. I really am, because we're going through an historic time that we've never seen before, and we'll get through it together. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace and love.